We're really excited tonight to have Michael do, I think it's his first presentation here. Out of 10 years? That's not bad, right? Okay. Well, for those of you who may not know Michael, he was raised in a real interesting spiritual family experience. And maybe he'll share that with you too. But what's so cool about it is that he's been a part of the Coptic organization for a long, long time, but now has really been able to really be his own, what's the best way to say it? Your own personal experience with the Coptics. You're now one of the board members, as well as being one of the Coptic ministers. So we're really tickled to have him here tonight and do something a little different. Are you ready? Okay, let's welcome Mr. Michael DeLano.
Do we have a love offering before I come up?
According to this, it's not.
Okay, we'll do it later then.
Okay.
Okay. Unique, different. Hello, welcome. Good evening. So it is my turn. And I'm going to indulge in myself for a little bit. This is a workshop about Om chanting and meditation and going within, and have a couple goals in mind tonight for you as well as me, to have self-expression, to get to that place that we step aside from ourselves and find the true oneness, the light, the love that is us. As we take a look at ourselves so much, we'll get into that in a second. Let's start this way. The Coptics teach the principles of balanced, positive, loving, and joyful living. We promote the idea of at one with all of life, and our goal as a collective group of light workers is to assist with the transformation of humanity, one person at a time. There's this guy that's an MC that likes to begin these gatherings on these Sunday nights for 10 years now that says, "Thank you for joining us as we gather in light and love, universal truth, and this ongoing quest towards self-mastery." Within that step towards that, the speaker before you tonight is certainly not perfect. He is certainly a man of hopes, dreams, and desires, which we'll touch on. I stand before John and those predecessors, those teachers, and I'm humbled by this experience in so many ways. So as we start tonight, thank you for bearing with me in self-indulgence for a moment, but it has a purpose of expression, of stepping aside, of forgiveness. There's moments in this path that I've been so inspired and in awe by the talent of the 10 years of speakers that I sat before me, and what this place represents. The master that was before us, the director that sits in the back of the room right now is the teacher. And for those of you joining us for the first time, thank you for being here, and thank you for my expression. The spiritual energy of God, the Spirit, the Creator, the oneness, whatever He, she, it is so powerful. And this place is a different expression of that. And along the way of empowerment, our lives have different aspects of ups and downs, highs and lows, where you step within your own ego that Master Hamid Bey talks about, which is part of these lessons tonight. And for myself, I probably come across as a very humble man, which I think I am, but there's occasionally a outspoken man that has a temper, a rage, that is not positive, and most of you have not seen that, but others have that are close at my heart. And I'm truly one of the reasons why I haven't spoke. This is an attainment of being a Coptic minister that is a humbling experience, yet empowering. And for those that cross my path within this organization and outside of it, I'm truly sorry from that action and the lessons that I've learned from that, those that crossed my path. So the ego gets checks in the door at a place like this. This is a special place as any spiritual endeavor is. And I attempt to do that within my path. So thank you for that indulgent moment. And I love this place. The moments of this place and empowerment is so powerful, so rewarding, and so full of love. And I thank you for your love. As I sit back, the moments of the sounds of the Om, the energies, the going within, the meditations, the frequencies, the energies, and the vibrations that touch our lives, that transform us, is what takes me to the place of wholeness and oneness and away from the ego. The ego has a purpose in life, but use it wisely with humility. That's what the Master says, which we'll read about in a little bit. I've been empowered by singing duets with my wife Susan, which I love. I've been empowered by chanting and singing to you and emceeing and being one of you, which is so empowering and loving and peaceful. Some of you know me, some of you don't, but I've been blessed to be in front of a microphone talking to a wall for 26 years of my life as a radio broadcaster on a part-time basis in Grand Rapids. And within that, the moments of getting into the space, if you will, is what has taken me there. And all of us get into our comfort zones, our places of tranquility, and at times that's where the role I've been. So it's time to, after a decade, to get out of myself and try something new. You know, I'm blessed to have a teacher in the back of the room that I love, and the teachers before me, and it's time for the student to try something new and step out of himself and become more whole. So I thank you all for that, for being here tonight because of this. 10 years ago, my brother Bill, as Lord Joy mentioned, our family was involved with the Coptics. And at the age of 5, I had the wonderful experience of meeting Master Hamid Bey as a boy. He said, "Hello, how you doing?" And you'll hear his voice in a prayer later on as part of this workshop. But the moment that he looked at me, and the moments of saying, "Hey," I often wondered what he thought, and it's like as if he knew something was on the horizon for me. And I knew that as a little boy. And within these moments of Coptic spirituality and the wonderful things of readings and numerology readings and channeled readings and past live readings that I've experienced is something that has been so powerful and has transformed my life in so many good ways. And within that, that's some of the things I hold on to. 10 years ago, as I was saying, my brother Bill was part of the Coptics many years ago, and I asked him when the center opened to come back. He's such a dynamic speaker in his own right, and he has so much words of wisdom. But it has inspired him to branch off from Coptic and start his own center in North Carolina. And we had DeLano night, which my mother gave the reading and the meditation that night. I emceed and sang solos, and Bill spoke. And there's something within Bill's talk that the first 5 years of the center, I recorded most of the services, so I went back and listened to it this past week, part of it, because I didn't want to have too much influence by Bill's wisdom. I wanted to share more of my own with you. And what he was saying to Carl Franklin, another one of my spiritual fathers, as well as yours that know him, teacher training. Bill was about 23, 25 years old, and he said, Carl said to Bill, it's like, you're going to join that teacher training thing? Bill was working at my family welding business, and it was something that he thought about. But what the words, Carl, I'm going to share with you has impacted my life, and one of the reasons why I'm standing here before you tonight, finally, to express myself. Carl said to Bill, if you wait till you're perfect to begin, you'll never start. If you wait until you're perfect to start, you'll never begin. And I've been waiting for 10 years to find the right moment, the right time of year, the right weight to be in, the right space, the right song to sing to you, the right everything, just to make it perfect, because I care about you. And there isn't a perfect time. This is probably the worst time. But it is the right time all at the same time. So those words have rung through me, and I had to go really listen to the whole quote So think about that in your life. What are you waiting for to be perfect at? As many of us are perfectionists. To start. So this is the starting place to step aside and to have fun and express. In my early 20s and late 20s, too, I got to meet Tony Robbins, the guy you see on infomercials, the action-oriented guy, the empowering guy. And Bill and my sister-in-law, Carrie, at the time, worked with him. I met him. And I went through his action-oriented workshops to inspire me to go about a new path in my life. And it propelled me into actually radio to have enough confidence to audition for stuff like that. But at the time, one of the quotes that stick out in my mind, the road to someday leads to never. Think of how many somedays you have in your life. Oh, I'll get to that sometime. Oh, we'll have a fire in the backyard. Oh, we're going to go on that picnic we always wanted to, that vacation. Take the somedays out of your life. I'm saying this to you for the benefit of me. You see, parents that get worn down by life. Boy, I wish I would have done that for Mom or Dad. Someday. Someday I wish I gave a talk at the center. You know? So, thanks for this emotion, this expression tonight. Looking through my WSO folder, 2005, 2006, I took the class, and there's a basket with little phrases and notes in it that was sent. And when I think of service, I think of the one I drew. Still taped to the folder that I have. And I got to thinking about that, you know. Some things you're just destined to do and give back to others. Because you love them. Because you care about the world. And the world is so full of change right now. Take a look at that. What is your path of service? What is your expression? So tonight is a night of actually getting back to basics, as I've shared with Susan a few times this week. Let's just get back to basics. Let's just look at the important things of life. You know, family, friends, hopes, dreams, and desires. Susan and I tend to watch Saturday Night Live a lot, you know, into late night on Saturdays, and coming up at 1 o'clock in the morning, you know, we get the televangelists come on and all this and that. And about a month ago, there was this Andy Stanley guy. His dad's a traditional Christian, you know, and we would watch this stuff. And it's like, okay, we buy into some of what he says, and this is truth. That's fine. But there was one about relationships about a month ago, 3 weeks ago, like I said. And there was a time that he brought out this box that had hopes, dreams, and desires. It was in the contents of relationships in marriage. You know, and you go into any endeavor in life, not just relationships, but spiritual aspirations, goals for organization, goals for work, your career, family. What is the hopes, dreams, and desires? We all go within that individually. We have our expectations of that. But yet it moves and changes because we're a collective group, as a couple, as a family, as a Coptic family. And quite honestly, the expectations I had for the Coptic Center is totally different than what it is today. But I still have the hopes, dreams, and desires, and what can we mold into that? How can I bend? How can I change? How can you change for the better within your own Coptic family? Your spiritual aspirations, your own truth. That's what it's about, finding that within you, finding that for the world, and going with the ebb and flows of the changes of life. Your box of hopes, dreams, and desires, what are they? Can you share it with others? How can you mold and blend them together? Master Ahmed Bey quotes, "Let us be independent as individuals, but united as a spiritual unit." To blend those expectations and goals and dreams and desires together. There you go. Let us practice deep, realistic philosophy, for the whole purpose of this life is to find the inner expression of the soul, your true self. We need constant inspiration, especially when we lose the enthusiasm of life. Life is tough. Look at the energies right now, the frequencies, the vibrations of the world changing. What's going on in the news? Everything's bombarded with us. It's not just the news. It's not just everything. It's just the physical energies. I don't sleep good. Maybe you don't either. That's just from a personal perspective. my interpretation right now, the way I feel. We need constant inspiration in getting to the basics of the true aspect of your soul and finding that truth within you. This is a quote that really stood out that I want to share with you. Please listen to me intently. The solid Coptic philosophy Master Hamid Bey talks about, which I teach, doesn't flatter your ego, nor deflates it. I teach a philosophy which gives humbleness to your ego, but inflates your soul. It's getting out of the ego expression to empower others, but you step aside and do it humbly. John talks about that. Humility, love, and service is what the Coptic message really is. Master Hamid Bey, that's where he got it from, obviously, shares that. Walk with humility, but yet use the ego to your purpose. That's some of the things I've been meditating on and thinking about a lot lately. That's what it's about. It's not about the big ego. It's not about pushing people and controlling them. It's allowing them to find their own inner truth, each and every one of you, not just myself. Realize that truth must be realized before it can become actual, workable truth for you. You cannot dial it, you can't borrow it, you can't walk using the energy of other people. You can learn from them, but use that energy. You must use your own energy. You cannot grow with the spiritual energy of other people. You have to learn it and get it directly. Become the wave in ocean. Is the creator, the God, whoever he, she, it is the ocean. And be a part of that sparkle of divinity. I'm leading to the Om and that centeredness to getting to that space. Thank you for allowing this lead in. There is a place within me that I call the dwelling place. So listen to these words and look within you. It is a place where I can sit down and just be. It is a place where I can rest. I can let go of all the cares and the worries of the world. I can be quiet and shut out the noise of the day. Sometimes I just call it the resting place. It's a space within me where I can just be still, just for 5 minutes. I can rest and be still. I don't have to pray. I don't have to ask is there anything. I don't have to save the world. I don't have to be spiritual. I don't have to use the right words or techniques to find God, understand God, whatever he, she, or it is. I can just rest and be still. Oh, it's a place to be quiet. Don't have to do anything. As I rest in this place with my being, it feels like the lap of water against me, rocking me soothing and calmly, like a babe rocking in a mother's arms. Held close to the heart, the fretfulness falls away, peace is restored. I can breathe again. I notice as I release a deep sigh. This dwelling place, it renews me, it restores me. I want to live in this place all the time. That's why I want to call it the dwelling place. I want to reside here, dwell here. I know such peace is the place. I feel beautiful here. Beauty surrounds me. I feel nurtured here in this place. All of the broken pieces are knit up in me. I'm not broken anymore. I'm made whole again. I notice the sun is shining gently, smiling on my spirit. Everything in gentle. Everything is in a gentle, and this place is the special place. It is a place of ease and flow, ease and flow. I call this grace. This grace flows through me, and I'm a part of it. It is the dwelling place. It is the dwelling place. If you subscribe to Carl Franklin's email list, that was something that came through this week from a Dream of Vance, and there is this place. So you look within the place, your space, your place, where you can be whole. You can be at peace. You can go about your life's work, your path, whatever that is, as you discover that. There's this place and this space called the event that I've been hearing through these emails and through our metaphysical circles here at the Coptic Center. Obviously, the world is changing, and this event is on the way, supposedly in the month of April or May. And here's something that came through that I read recently. We are here to continue to assist you in every way. This is our spiritual beings on the other side. But all of you must know that you are on the verge and on the cusp of many great changes on this planet, to the consciousness here on the planet. You are this consciousness shift. Everything is happening exactly as it needs to. You have heard it many times that you are in the right place, at the right moment, at the right time. For everything is shifting. It's not that it's about to shift, because it already is shifting. And you are in that shift now. Yes, there are waves of energy that are still coming, and there is that pulse of energy, what we and you call the event. There certainly is something coming, and will be a part of that, of your expression very shortly. But know that as this energy is building, now it's beginning to move towards the planet. Those of you who are here on the planet, those of you of the volunteers, of the warriors and workers of the light, you are the ones now. You are increasingly anchoring this light and increasingly spreading the light just simply by being who you are. Just by sitting in your chairs tonight, taking this space, and holding your energy for this world. With positive thoughts, with light and love. It does not take you where you sit down and speak to someone, interesting that came up in this reading, and share what you know, although it's helpful, what it's called for, but simply being in a room, being in a building, being somewhere where others are gathered, where you're amongst them, and they're amongst them, and you're amongst them as well, because you're where you are. I think that last sentence made sense, but what that essentially means is, so much of myself, I guess I'm from being on the radio that I want to share the excitement, the enthusiasm. And all of you have stood up here, most of you have, our teachers and ministers and WSO grads, that want to have that expression to share your enthusiasm for a world of change. And I am one of those folks, those individuals that do. But the lesson learned here in this little reading is just by being in a space, whether you're at work, whether you're at home with a family, whether you're on the deck, just holding the energy for that sparkles of divinity from the Creator that are here at this time. And that's a humbling thought to think about when you really take on a task like that. And many of the world today knows that there's a turmoil and change of energy because you're going to feel it. Yet there's others that don't know that awareness. And that's one of the purposes of this great place of finding the truth within you in the Coptic Center. Focusing on lesson number 119 tonight and 246 as we continue on this path of expression. In your expression of finding the truth within you. And one way to do it, maybe it's not the way, as Carl Franklin has shared with you in talks here at the center and within myself individually and collectively, it's something that you can adopt as your truth, weigh it, use your own discernment, and practice it. Or look for other ways within the center and other presenters to find the truth within you. For me, it's been sound, it's been song, it's been energy. Others, it's coloring. Others, it's writing words, expression of books, and teachings that way. Others, it's just telling a good joke. Whatever your truth is, it's part of you. And that's the beauty of the center, Master Hamid Bey's teachings. In the Far East, Master Hamid Bey says, it is A-U-M, Om. And the sound of Om is spelled Ram in Egypt. Here at home, it's Om, O-M. Everyone needs spiritual regeneration as much as food, Master Hamid Bey talks about. And chanting the Om sound is practiced by all great masters. It's an important factor, as this is the sound that encompasses all the sounds of creation, all vibration, and even color, a colorful expression of the sounds of Mother Earth and the universe. The mind, the body is restored into perfect rhythm with the governing laws of the universe, for it is then your ego ceases to be the dominant factor of motives, decisions, and actions. You're stepping aside from yourself for your truth, for wholeness. Your inner soul, the very core essence of you, is radiating through these, strengthening your body and illuminating your mind, for you're tapping into the source. Peace and beauty arise when we relate to all parts of creation, such as the woods, the animals kingdom, the elementals. Master Hamid Bey talks about an experience he had in New York City where he went up to the Empire State Building, went up to the roof, the top, looked over the city, looked at the sounds, just stopped and listened. And he heard the taxi cab drivers with their horns beeping, music blaring on the radios, seeing the ants of the individuals walking, because he's up so high in the Empire State Building, little matchbox cars going by. Then he was still, and he just listened. They became one sound. And when you think about it, every sound blends together. That's the beauty. It doesn't matter if you can sing or not. If you can, fantastic. If you're not. Everybody has their own energies, their frequencies and their vibrations that blend with one another. So when we chant tonight, when we breathe tonight, it's the ebb and flow of the unity of all. The sounds of Mother Earth. When you sit on your deck and you're outside in a park, just listen to the birds singing, the ruffling of the woods, the cracks of squirrels going up and down limbs. When it all blends together, it's the sound of the Om. And that's by stepping aside and getting into your own space that you can let go and let your mind travel. That's what Master Hamid Bey teaches in these lessons. There's different ways to do it, and the things that I've always done over the past 10 years, which I've learned from this lesson, John speaks of the four sides of the pyramid, the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual sides. So I've always done the fourfold Om chant. Master Hamid Bey has done it 5 times. He didn't go into the lesson and explain why, but that's what we will do tonight. And the purpose of breathing is a part of it. And it's actually the Cobra breath, which is a whole other workshop of breathing, which one of us will do at some point. But that's something we'll teach you right now, to the best of my ability. It's been quite a while, actually. So breathing and the Om, that's the preparation to going within yourself. And it's such a energy source-filled moment within you that you got to be careful when you do it. And Tom Hartman, he was at one of our Olivet conferences about 5-6 years ago. He goes, you got to really be careful when you do this because you're going to hurt yourself. Because you're breathing into the depth of your soul as your expression. So Master Hamid Bey puts in this lesson and shares within this lesson that when you breathe carefully. And when you breathe in with an ah, which is and you breathe out. It's a cool breath when you breathe in, and I didn't really pay attention to that until I read this lesson. Try it. When you breathe out, and when you breathe in this, you're breathing up from your root chakra up to your eyebrows. And when you breathe, be sure to sit upright, your stomach in. I'm going to stand because I want everybody to see me. And with your fingers together, and breathe. And think of the cobra, because it's kind of that's what it sounds like. So, when you breathe in, it's an energy source called prana, which is taught in the Coptic teacher training class. Actually, we go through this. And first, it's breathe in, and over your back and down your spinal column as you're exhaling with it. And you do it as far as you can go, but as more comfortable for you. And you breathe in again with a. Exhale. And Master Hamid Bey also shares, if you're on a full stomach, be careful when you do this because it's not healthy. And ladies that are on their menstrual cycles, be very careful when you do this, or don't do it at all. So if by chance you're in that moment of that space of the month, just breathe shallowly while you practice this tonight. So when you do that, and I was doing this in the shower this week, it energized my whole being and alleviated a headache that I had. And if there's such a thing called day apnea, I think I got it because I'm a very shallow breather, and Susan pointed it out this week. So it's important to express yourself and let go and breathe. So that's part of it. So we do that 14 times, and when we lead into the practical meditation part of this workshop tonight, we will do that. Om chanting is a 3-note process, which we start with a tone of your choice. For the sopranos, or mid-range, or if you can't sing at all, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. The no tones is my choir director, Mr. Davis, said years ago. And there's different ways to do it. So we'll pick a note. So as Laura Joy started this earlier tonight, let me find a note. But the Coptic Om chant goes like this. So feel free, if those that know it, please join me. Those that don't, listen close, okay? And it's breathe in. We got to do the ah. Different. The chant goes lower. And it's so easy to breathe through your lungs, which you do, but what I was taught through singing is by breathing out of your gut. That's where you hold the air. So it's okay to breathe out like this. And when you breathe, it's okay.
That was a baby breath.
The other way to hear yourself, too, that Susan and I had a very wonderful choir director in high school called another Davis that was a big influence for us, Dwayne Davis. And I haven't thought about this in years, but what he said, when you're finding your own voice and want to hear you sing, put your hand in front of your voice. So I encourage you to try that when we Om chant tonight too, and go within. Because you hear yourself and your own tone bounce off your hand. Oh, it's kind of like in stereo. It sounds different, doesn't it? That's another way. As you go within yourself and get into that space. So.
Mike, could you sing it, just you sing Om chant one time?
I sure can. And when we get into it more, I have the 1111 service from 1972 on CD. And we'll have Master Hamid Bey take us into the Om chanting and meditation tonight with his prayer. And it'll be nice to hear his voice and have him join us tonight. All right, so as Nancy requested, we'll breathe in. Oh. Okay.
Everybody be quiet so we can hear him.
And we'll be doing that 5 times, that whole set. We call them sets. And I certainly can do that again. Another way it's practiced is like this, which I don't do myself all that much. But
That was amazing.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's hummed, and I believe they do this in the self-mastery training. So those that have gone through the self-mastery training class, I believe it's hummed. It's very nasally. Is another way to do the and let's try it. I'll demonstrate that. So, when you're in your own private space, you can try that either way, and I'll let you decide what you like better. Master Hamid Bey, in his lessons when he was in the mystery schools in the temple, him and his classmates, he said that they started Om chanting and they finally came out of it 3 hours later. And they just become that. And if you ever attend the kirtan here, it's similar to that because they do different Hindu chants and so forth. So I encourage you to stop on by and take some of the lessons that we're learning tonight together and apply that when you come to the kirtan and other times when we chant here at the center as well. So what I'd like to do at this point is start to practice what we're sharing tonight. And we will do the 14 breaths together. And from there we will go into the wisdom of Master Hamid Bey's prayer. And it's a very deliberate organ. I think it's a pipe organ in Los Angeles you'll hear. It's very deliberate Om chant. Feel free to chant along with that. It's kind of a pathway of tonight. We'll go and do a nice meditation, do another 5 sets of Om chanting, and then we'll come back out of it together. And hopefully we'll take you to that space, the place within you. And if your mind wanders to a daydream, so be it. If it takes you to the park, it takes you to wherever you might be, that's okay. This is all a learning process, not only for you, but for myself tonight. And that's what life's about, to grow, to expand, and learn. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Master Hamid Bey mentions that, and so does my teachers through the Coptic training that I've been through. So, with that being said, I'm going to take a seat in front, if that's okay. And I'll probably wander around while we do this a little bit. Let's get to that place, shall we? Another thing Master Hamid Bey mentions too, and I've heard Bob Hunnigan share this in some of the classes and workshops over the years that he's had and shared, This is about your inward journey. So cross your feet like this. That takes you into you. It's great that you share it with everybody else. But if you can see me, your feet up like, yeah. Cross your feet. Just like that, left or right, whatever is your desire. And sit with your spine erect, as Master Hamid Bey writes in the lessons. And your hands together and fingers. And breathe from your root chakra up to your eyebrow. In with the ah. That's part of the cobra breath. And then over your head, as you exhale, the warmer breath over your spine to release whatever is troubling you, whatever is holding you back, whatever is not your truth. Discard it. That's my interpretation, maybe not his, but that's what I'm getting. So we'll do this 14 times, and then we will go on our inward journey. Let us begin. 2 more. Please be still and let us go into that sacred space, even more so.
In this moment, all of us tune in the spiritual presence of the great Master and the Messiah. You are all spiritually guarded and watched. You are protected. This temple is surrounded by the presence of many spiritual souls in this moment. This temple contains an affinity of peace and joy to every one of you that are here, and every one of you, everyone who will ever come in. For it represents love and blessing and peace to man. It represents the spiritual beauty, and that attitude shall remain with you. Let all of us then chant the own chant as our own chant shall give us tune in the vibration of spiritual presence. All right?
still within your own collective thoughts of peace in the inward journey of the Om. Let your mind drift as I sing to you. O Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me bring love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, bring your faith. Where there is despair, let me bring hope. Where there is darkness, let them see our light. Where there is sadness, let them feel our joy. O Divine Master, grant that I may not seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. Make me your instrument, O Father, for it is in giving that we receive. In pardoning we are pardoned, and in dying to ourselves that we live. O Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. O Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. O Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. O Lord, make me an instrument of your peace, of your peace, of your peace. Be still within that peace, and the glorious sound that is within you, the truth of your higher essence, and all that you are. Let us continue on this journey as we leave our physical bodies and go out in a unified, glorious circle of peace around the peace pole. feel and hear the refreshing warm spring air that is upon us on this Sunday evening. Against your body, a sense of renewal as we visualize peace, love, and positive change within us, inwardly and outwardly, to whatever area is a benefit to you. Be in this space for a moment. Hold the energy of peace, a beacon of light from the peace pole that is in the grounds of the Coptic Center. Take a moment, listen to the birds serenading our gathering tonight. A peaceful, loving space within nature. Hear the bare limbs of the trees rubbing against each other. The crackling of twigs and rustling of leaves of squirrels and deer stopping by for our evening visit tonight. Off in the distance, you hear the hum of traffic on Lake Michigan Drive. Yes, spring is here. The leaf blowers and lawnmowers and radios in the neighbors' yards. The kids playing in the houses through the wooded area of the Coptic Center. Let us all go into the wooded area behind the Coptic Center as our circle of light and peace takes us in farther to nature. Listen to those sounds amongst us as our footsteps crackle the leaves underneath us from the long winter. As we hear the sounds of the universe and Mother Earth, all blending in a unified tone of perfection. The Om, the Om. And as we gather in the clearing in the woods of the center, let us share 5 more wonderful Om chants as your mind wanders into the perfection that is you. Your space, your inner world, your growth, your love. Let's breathe. as we stay in this uplifting space of peace and love. May us journey collectively as a unified beacon of love and light and peace to the world. As we journey back to the Coptic Center Sanctuary, but as a Trinity, may we circle the peace pole to embed in the greatness of love, peace unto this world, and love for the changes that are in front of us. As we circle the peace pole, let us enter back into the sanctuary and float our way back to our wonderful purple chairs and wiggle our toes and our feet. Come back into the physicality of this life, knowing that you're filled with love and the peace within you. And remember the sound of the Om. May you find the blessings of peace and love within you always. Always.